Good Sunday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Sunday. Starting off, what's currently going on throughout the state? First thing that I do notice is look at these showers that we have moving into the upstate as we move later on into this morning here. It's going to track further down towards the south and east. So that's something to watch for as we move into the next hour or so, see how that develops. And then over here, inside of the Grand Strand area, from Georgetown County over into Horry County, we have showers move through Conway, Carolina Forest, and now Myrtle Beach is receiving some rainfall activity, like very, very shortly now. So we're also watching for that as well. Now, in terms of our current conditions throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall from North Carolina to Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, the entire Southeast receiving some rainfall activity. Now, in terms of the Northeast, we do have some rainfall over there. Midwest, upper Great Lakes look good. The South Dakota has some rainfall going on over into Arizona, New Mexico, even Idaho and Nevada. And then up there inside of the over here inside of the panhandle of Washington, even up in the northern Washington, they have some rainfall over there as well. Now, in terms of cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover for the majority of us, upstate, Midlands, PD, Grand Strand. But look at the western low country. Look at the CSRA. Looking kind of clear over there in those areas a little bit. And as we move over into our future, going to push this forward into later on this afternoon, cloud cover will still be, mostly cloudy out there. But we are seeing some clear spots, even as we move to around 12 o'clock in the morning here on Monday. Now, what about for our current temperatures? Right now, we're talking about 77 in Somerville, 79 Charleston, 80 Beaufort, and 76 in Orangeburg, 74 Georgetown, and 73 in Myrtle Beach, 72 Conway, 75 in Columbia, 74 Newberry, 75 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 74 in Gaffney, York, and Rock Hill. Now, for your air quality for today, it looks like that the majority of us are in the good category, but if you look over towards the Tri County area, over into the Colleton County area, and just to the west of Columbia, we have a moderate risk of air quality. Looks like that if you're in those areas, make sure that you're paying attention to the air quality for today. And then for our high temperatures for today, we're talking about 88 in Greenville, 87 in Spartanburg, 88 Columbia, even 87 in Charleston, Moncks Corner, 92 in Hilton Head Island, even 90 from Aiken, Barnwell, and Walterboro. So we are seeing actually a pretty good decrease in terms of temperatures, especially high temperatures for today. So that is something to watch for as we get a bit of a cool down. Now, those heat index values will still be pretty high, especially for if the sun's out and, it gets, and it doesn't, you don't really see too much of a breeze, you're seeing not really much cloud cover. That, heat index could actually get up pretty high over there, like in Hilton Head Island and Walterboro and maybe other areas like Aiken and Barnwell, Orangeburg. But for the most part, it looks like the majority of us are trying to stay 90 degrees and lower. Now, winds for today, looking like it's going to be a pretty calm wind day. Nothing really too crazy to talk about. Max winds at around 10 miles per hour. Then if you look at wind gusts, around 15 being the max. So wind gusts, not really too much of an issue. Rainfall over the next 24 hours, we're talking about maybe a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch throughout Rock Hill, throughout Columbia, even throughout Camden and Myrtle Beach. Tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch from Georgetown over into Aiken, and also near Lawrence and Greenville. Quarter of an inch to a half an inch in Orangeburg, Barnwell, Walterboro. Maybe even a half an inch to an inch inside of Monk's Corner in Hilton Head Island, and then an inch to an inch and a half over in Charleston and other areas like Beaufort, where some areas may even get up to around 2 inches of rainfall. So the low country, again, takes the prize for potentially receiving the most rain today. Now, for the SPC outlook, we do have severe thunderstorms that are possible. If you're in the dark green, you have a 5% risk of damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. And if you're in the light green, just a regular thunderstorm risk. Now, if you're in the dark green, you may see a thunderstorm, but it may not be severe, obviously. Or maybe if you're in the light green, you may see a strong storm with some strong winds. Overall, doesn't really matter. Thunderstorms are expected today, and if you're in the dark green, you could potentially see some damaging winds. No fire weather though. Excessive rainfall, we did get a bit of an increase. We now have a slight risk of excessive rainfall over here throughout the low country and the western areas of the PD and the Grand Strand from Georgetown over into Williamsburg counties, where we have a 15% risk, a slight risk of excessive rainfall or flash flooding. So that's 15% of flash flooding in the yellow. And if you're in the green, Midlands, PD, over there near the very far Grand Strand, you have a 5% risk of flash flooding. So isolated flash flooding is possible. Crazy score, we are at a 9 right now. Currently, we're at a 9. Nice, pleasant conditions right now. Yeah, we have some rainfall kind of going on, and I think the conditions tab will go up a little bit if, once it starts raining in areas like Myrtle Beach, etc. But for right now, we're at a 9, calm weather. So let's go on now and take a look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Please make sure that you go in and pay attention to that, as that is very important. We're going to start off here moving over into around 11 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Now we're starting to see some rainfall activity, maybe some storm activity in the PD areas, the western upstate even. And then even as you go to around 1 to 2 p.m., look at all this shower and storm activity that we have from the Midlands over inside the low country, over inside the upstate. I mean, shower and storm activity go on throughout a lot of these areas. And then as you go all the way to around 4 p.m., 5, even around 6 p.m. or so, you see a good amount of rainfall activity that goes on all the way into the evening hours. And then as you move to around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 or so, it starts to move away. And moving on, even into Monday morning, though, we still could see some active rainfall activity past midnight tonight in areas of the PD. So, a lot to go in and break down, a lot to go over. But overall, today is going to be, just a scattered thunderstorm day, maybe a bit more than that. A numerous thunderstorm day, and then some of those storms, isolated wise, could be severe. And that's pretty much all that I have to say here in terms of our risk of storms as we move into the future for today. And that's pretty much all that I have to say. Nothing in terms of the tropics, so we're good there. No earthquakes. So we're gonna wrap this up. If you have not hit the like button yet or the subscribe button yet, please go ahead and do so. We have right now 783 subscribers, trying to get to that main goal of 800. Also, make sure you go on and hit the share button, share with your friends, family members, acquaintances, and people that you don't talk to regularly, because it's free. It's free. It's free. I will be back tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. Sunday evening forecast update, 8 o'clock p.m. I'm going to stop saying 9 o'clock p.m. eventually. I don't know when it's going to happen, but 8 o'clock p.m., maybe I need to put like a sticky note or something that says 8 o'clock p.m. I mean, I've been saying 9 o'clock for so many years now, but now, 8 o'clock p.m. And then as we move on over into tomorrow, we'll have our Monday morning forecast update. Tonight, we also have the week forecast update for the last week of July. Make sure that you're there for that. That's important. And I'll be back then, 8 o'clock p.m. Make sure that you're there.